Premier League Bournemouth vs Everton prediction, team news, lineups preview. Everton will be looking to steer themselves away from the Premier League relegation zone when they travel to the Vitality Stadium to face Bournemouth on Saturday afternoon. The Cherries will be seeking revenge against the Toffees after they suffered a 3-0 defeat in the reverse fixture at Goodison Park almost 6 months ago. Match preview. Bournemouth were seemingly on course to enter the international break on a whimper as they were trailing Luton Town by a 3-goal margin heading into half-time of their most recent Premier League home match on March 13. However, the Cherries produced one of the greatest ever top-flight comebacks as they scored 4 second-half goals, including a brace from Antoine Semenyo, with his match winner scored in the 83rd minute, to remarkably come out on top by a 4-3 scoreline, becoming just the third team in Premier League history to win a game when trailing by at least 3 goals at halftime. Andoni Iraola's men have put themselves in a strong position to preserve their top-flight status for a third straight season as they sit 13th in the table, 14 points above the relegation zone with 10 matches remaining, as well as a game in hand on both Nottingham Forest and Burnley in the bottom 3. After snapping a 3-game winless home run with success over Luton last time out, Bournemouth will be seeking to win back-to-back league matches at the Vitality Stadium for the first time since October/November of last year when they face Everton this weekend. The Cherries will fancy their chances of coming out on top against the Toffees as they are unbeaten in their last 6 Premier League home meetings, winning their last 2 by a 7-1 aggregate scoreline. Everton return from the international break aware that they will soon discover the verdict of a hearing against a second Premier League profit and sustainability rules (PSR) breach, which took place earlier this week. Sean Dyche is hopeful that the hearing comes to nothing, having already seen his side deducted 6 points, initially 10 before a successful appeal, this season, placing the Toffees in danger of a first-ever relegation from the Premier League. Following Nottingham Forest's 4-point deduction for a PSR breach earlier this month, one that has since been appealed, Everton remains 16th in the Premier League table, but now sit 4 points above the relegation zone, with Forest moving below Luton into 18th place. Everton head to the Vitality Stadium on Saturday, seeking to end a miserable 11-game winless league run, including 6 defeats and 5 draws, which dates back to December 23. A failure to win against Bournemouth would see the Toffees equal an unwanted club record of 12 matches without victory that took place between August and October in 1994. Dyche is keen to see his side develop a killer mentality in front of goal after they failed to find the net with any of their 23 attempts on goal in a 2-0 defeat at Manchester United last time out. Everton have scored just once in their last 5 away fixtures despite having a total of 65 shots, creating 7 big chances and boasting an XG of 4.8. Team news. Bournemouth trio Luis Sinisterra, Marcos Senesi both thigh and Ryan Fredericks calf all remain sidelined with injuries, while Max Aaron's thigh will be assessed ahead of kickoff after taking part in training this week. Iraola has confirmed that Lloyd Kelly has a chance of returning to the matchday squad after the defender resumed first-team training earlier this week following a spell out with a hip injury. While there is no issue with star striker Dominic Solanke, who has made good progress over the international break to shake off a knee problem, Tyler Adams played for 45 minutes and scored a wonder goal to help the USA beat Mexico 2-0 in the CONCACAF Nations League final on Monday. The midfielder has been reduced to just 19 minutes of Premier League action this term due to injury, and he is set to be assessed ahead of Saturday's game. As for Everton, Dele Alli groin and Lewis Dobbin ankle are ruled out with injuries, while Saturday's match will likely come too soon for Arnaut Danjuma, who has returned to training this week after recovering from an ankle problem. Dyche has confirmed that Idrissa Gueye is fit to feature after missing the last 2 games prior to the international break with a groin issue, and the midfielder is set to compete with James Garner for a place in the first 11. Beto has started the last 2 games up front and could retain his place ahead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who has not scored a Premier League goal since October 29, while Dwight McNeil and Jack Harrison are expected to continue on the flanks. Bournemouth possible starting lineup: Neto, Smith, Mepham, Zabarnyi, Kirkes, Christie, Cook, Semenyo, Scott, Kluivert, Solanke. Everton possible starting lineup: Pickford, Godfrey, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Michaelenko. Harrison, Garner, Onana, McNeil, Doucoure, Beto. We say, Bournemouth 2-2 Everton. After drawing a blank in a frustrating loss to Man United last time out, Everton will hope to have more luck in the final third this weekend against a Bournemouth side that have kept only 2 clean sheets across their last 12 Premier League matches. Nevertheless, the Cherries have had few problems scoring at the right end of the pitch in recent weeks, and we can see Irela's men claiming at least a share of the spoils from an entertaining contest at the Vitality Stadium. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.